I'll admit it. I like to fight. I'll admit it. I like what's happening. The scarier it gets, the worse it gets, the more surrounded I get. I just love it. It's like destiny's happening. I said a month and a half ago we'd already launched this stuff, but I'm behind schedule, getting a lot of things done. But we're like a month out from launching other shows. People like John Rappaport, he can host an hour a day, 3 hours a day, whatever he wants. He can have it. We're going to get him sponsors. We're going to try to pay all the crew. We're putting in new studios. We're doing it all right now. I just say that because I feel bad. I'm about to take over part of his hour he's agreed to do every week. NoMoreFakeNews.com. But I feel a kinship to humanity. I don't say that cheesily. I really do. I am connected to everything. And it's like, I'm not a sadomasochist. I'm not a masochist. I like to get pleasure, not pain. When I'm attacked by these horrible liars, it's like I'm being given Pulitzer Prizes. It's the only thing that not even my ego, just my spirit, like, says you're doing well. I don't want to have to say bye-bye to my children. But they don't have any future if men don't die in the service of freedom. And they're going to kill us anyways if we don't stand up against them. That's the big secret. These are bad people. And I'm just ashamed for humanity that I'm so prominent in the fight against these people when I know there are so many men smarter, better looking, more well-spoken than I am, but they're too smart, see? They go with what's easy. They play both sides. They want a bigger house, a bigger pool. And I'm a free market guy. I'm not saying that stuff's bad, but it's not my God. And I see the horrible things they're doing to humanity. And then I see them attacking us. And Tom Brokaw saying, I am a complete racist. He used this fancy term that I'm this total racist. And they don't even show a clip. It's not that he hurts me calling me a racist. He hurts me that he wasn't that bad when I was a kid growing up or in college or when, or 30 years old when he retired. Now I'm 43, 44. It's that he's such a piece of crap. As a fellow human, seeing him so fallen, that's how he wounds me. Because I could fall as far as he did, and I'm afraid I don't want to be that man. Doddering up there, looking like the crypt keeper, just spewing with a whole nest of people lies. It's not about me. It's a lie to everybody. It's that we're this fallen, with this desperate of an elite. And then I see Trump. Crude and selfish, classic German Scott, like King Kong in the Empire State Building, trying to swat off the airplanes attacking him. And I see him so big up there, like Hercules in his great test. And then I look around and I'm on top of the Empire State Building too, swatting at the airplanes. And it's just like, this is insane. Our enemy is so weak that a guy that owns casinos and hotels is their arch enemy, and some guy in Texas on a couple hundred radio stations is their enemy. It's like a paradox. It's like, it's not that we're that strong. They're that weak. And then I look at humanity and I think, is humanity that bad? Are they this pathetic? How the hell did we get like this? Because I don't see humanity's weakness as some strength for me. I see it as my own weakness. Well, ask John Rappaport what he thinks. He's always got the perfect, deep edge to whatever's happening. And then a few calls and I'm going to get out here and let him take over. So he'll have more showtime than he ever wanted. NoMoreFakeNews.com. But here's Tom Brokaw. Of all the clips, I haven't gotten to The View and 20 clips from CNN. But they roll out Tom Brokaw, who looks like he's about to die, to go, Alex Jones is a total racist. I mean, this is what you've got. Here it is.
The whole game is to, let me play gotcha. Let me show you how meaner I can be. There's a lot of controversy around this network about Alex Jones, for example. But the fact is that he is an unalloyed racist, a man who's out there pulling the pin on the grenade every day, and he has 6 million viewers who are paying attention to him. Yep. And the parents Newton at Newtown are saying they're hearing from his followers all the time. They buy into what he is saying, which is patently not true. So at some point, there's got to be a coming together of the political culture. It's never going to be kumbaya. We don't expect that, because out of that tension can come good things. But I don't remember in my lifetime, and I'm a pretty good student of history, when this country was at such loggerheads with such great consequences that can result from all of this.
I think
So Tom Brokaw, and it's like so pathetic. It's like beyond cathartic in a negative way. It's like they don't show a clip. They don't show proof. John Rappaport, separate from myself or you or anybody, what moment have we reached in history where this is happening?
Well, I think we can take our cue from the clip that you just showed. Look at the other people in the clip. That's what I was doing. They're like stone statues. They really don't have any idea what he's referring to. You know, they're just sitting there going, what are we doing here? What is this? As you say, they roll out the skeleton who looks like he is, you know, been dug up out of a graveyard. And he doesn't know what he's talking about either. He just took his cue from somebody who passed along a lie to him.
That's it. They're soulless. Again, you just did it again.
Yeah, they don't have, there's nothing there. It's like a shell covering dust.
So they hate us because we still have our souls. And we don't say that arrogantly. Thank God.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they've trapped inside their own prison and they can't get out. They wouldn't have the first idea of how to get out. All they can do is rail against the people that they see as competitors, okay? I mean, that's the level at which this is really existing. Your program, your website, other independent media are pulling millions of people away from them. And they are the keepers of the crypt that have all the lies in them. And so they have to keep on dispensing the lies because that's all they can do. And now they suddenly look around and they say, you know, our domain is being threatened. So now we have to, what are we going to do? Let's get in Brokaw, dig him up out of the ground, bring him in. He's the granddaddy of granddaddies, and we'll just sit here like stones and listen to him. It goes over like lead. It's like nothing. I mean,
That's right. Their greatest weapon, Dan Rather, Tom Brokaw, it does nothing.
Yeah. I mean, how would you feel or how would I feel if we were hosting that show? You know, in 5 seconds, we'd say, wake up, guys. Hey, hello, life is here. Can we get some actual live something or other going?
But they're all reading off scripts, so they're not allowed to be real.
That's right. They can't depart. If they depart, they get fired. If somebody actually suddenly said, look, I got something on my mind I want to say, so everybody shut up and listen, and they went off on some kind of uncontrolled rant that just showed that they were walking dead and they were trying to break out of that somehow. That would be the adequate response from these corpses. But they can't even do that. All they can do is sit around like statues. It's amazing. It's like death in life.
And they've gone from being arrogant now to like horrified scared. Is that good, though?
Well, I don't know if it's good. I mean, it's just the way it is. What else can you do? You can't negotiate with people like this. You can't say, look, we don't want to push you over the edge if we can help it. You can't do that. They don't even understand what you're talking about. You can't say, look, we'd like to bring
No, exactly. They don't get they've been running us over, killing us, and we just want to live. They think because we're fighting for our lives, we're attacking them.
Yeah. They say, if you said, I want to help bring your spirit back from the dead, okay? I know you're dead. You feel dead. You look dead. They wouldn't know what you're talking about. They're just gone.
Well, that was the thing about Kelly. I've never been around a woman, because an old lady that has spirit I'm attracted to, not sexually, but attracted to, she had no spirit. She was literally like a robot. Even when she acted like a woman, it was totally fake.
I've been interviewed by people like that. I had somebody show up at my apartment once, long time ago, a major kind of network. Okay, we're going to do this now, and yes, and whatever. And I kept looking for any sign of life or humanity or something going on. It was like she had sold her soul on the way up, to get to where she was. And she knew that she wasn't totally there yet, but she was almost there, and she was just a robot moving straight ahead. Yeah, you just look
And then
around.
when you get there, you realize you were conned, you were taken to hell. They transport themselves to this place, and then it's in total emptiness.
Yeah, that's right. Can you imagine what happens if you win that game and you're sitting on top of the pile? To me, that would be the very worst thing that could happen, because then you really have no way out. You fought all your life to get to this place that you thought was going to be, some kind of news nirvana. And now you're there and you're all alone, and you see all these robots around you. You're sitting on top of the little hill, and life is drained away and you've got nothing. Man, that's some fate. That's some destiny that I would not like to taste.
That reminds me of the Christmas Carol, but he sees it and finally turns back. The problem is, to do those evil things, the only lie of C.S. Lewis is, by the time you've been willing to do all that, God doesn't take your soul. You give it up to be dehumanized, to get that temporal power. And by the time you get there, you can't turn back because you've gone so far.
Christmas Carol is a great analogy. That's exactly what happened. So he turned around, because that's the way Dickens wrote it. We're going to visit him with enough ghosts so that it shows him what his life has become and how dead and horrible and cruel he is. And he sees it, and he, weeps. He weeps to see what he's become. These people don't weep. They don't do it. They just keep on going, and they have no life in them. I mean, I've met some of them along the way, talked to them. They just shut down completely. Even the best of them. Even the best of them. Nothing left.
All right, I want you to take over, my friend. I got 3 callers that have been holding for over an hour, or close to an hour. I appreciate them doing it. It's the energy level. Do you agree with me that the energy level, not to get all metaphysical or new agey, it's not the science, the technology, the information, the quickening, the singularity, whether we have a total singularity or a partial one, you can feel the consciousness of the planet rising, and that's what's horrifying these people.
Yeah, it's like it's bumping up against the ceiling and it's punching holes in the ceiling. People are emerging who are awake, conscious, realized how they bought into the big con all their lives, and they're not going to do it anymore. And those people in major media centers are looking and seeing this is happening. They're really jealous, Alex. Let's put it the way it is. They see people waking up and they wish they could too, but they can't. And they're trapped. So they have to just try to spew as much.
Well, that's it, because it's so freeing to walk down a beach and have your belly hanging out and not care what people think because you have a soul and you love them and you don't care, or to not care if you don't agree with the establishment and then to not be a poser anymore, to be conscious and open and real is like graduating into humanity. And then we're not on a power trip that we've done that. We look over here and feel pathetic that our own species is like this, and they're doing everything they can to stop that. And you look at these people with their billions of dollars that serve evil, they are the greatest slaves. It's like you said, they compete to become the greatest slave, to give up their most humanity so they can be part of this court of idiots.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the irony of the whole thing. They think if they climb that ladder, that at the end of the ladder is going to be the thing that they've been yearning for all their lives, that they've lost. And of course, it's just the opposite. It's worse. It's horrible at the top of that particular ladder where they get to. I mean, look at a guy like Zuckerberg, right? I have to imagine that he was just kind of, a crazy talented kid in a little dorm room in Harvard, and he had this idea. And sure, he got support and funding, and some of it was like, cutouts of CIA money and so on. But okay, whatever. And he builds this thing, and all of a sudden it turns into an empire. And he starts to think, I can get everything I've ever wanted. I can be recognized in a way that's not like a geek anymore, and people won't look down at me if I just keep getting richer and richer, bigger, bigger, and bigger. And now he's gotten to this point where I know he looks around and he's still got a big puffed up ego, but he's getting close to the point where he's going to be sitting there one day realizing that he's totally dead inside. And that's his reward for going the way he went. He's totally dead. Totally.
Whereas the opposite, right now, if you're fighting for Renaissance and against globalism, the consciousness is so fulfilling, it's like a drug so powerful you can't hardly stand it.
Look at what happens when you can get behind a microphone and say what's really on your mind. That's another thing these people are horrendously jealous of. You can go on every day and say what the truth is, your truth, the truth you've discovered.
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
It's the freedom. We can be individuals. Doesn't mean our truth's perfect, but it's real. It came from a human.
Right. And how does that make somebody feel? Makes them feel alive, alert, energetic, expanded, all the things that you want. And here they are all locked up in prison, sitting there. And now the news. And here's a horrible guy that we want to talk about here with our granddaddy, Tom Brokaw. Blah, 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 blah. They got nothing. They're just dust inside a shell.
That's actually what scares me the most is they are so pathetic and grasping. It's like, is this a Twilight Zone episode?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
what it looked like to me. I could put that right into Twilight Zone, what you showed with Brokaw there. To me, that's like, look at these people. Dead, all dead, talking about what supposedly is important.
It's like their ghost, because they gave up their life, talking about the real world and we're alive. It's like they're dead, we're alive. We're alive, they sleep. It's like they literally bought into the Matrix and then they're mad that we're not part of it. And it's crazy.
Yeah, they're very mad that we're not part of it. They look at people, in independent media and they say, why are they so energetic? Why are they so expressive? What's going on there? We have to stop that. We have to stop that. We don't understand it. We don't like it. We have to stop that. Yeah, because it reminds them that there's this thing called life, and they don't have it. They threw it away.
What is it about so many powerful people in the system? They are like dead, and they get off on the fact they're so robotic.
Yeah, they love that. I mean, it's all they've got left. It's like the private who goes up the ranks and somehow becomes a general in an army dedicated to endless war. You get to the top of that, and you're completely dead. Well, what do you got left? You got nothing but control left. There's nothing you can do except say, I will control all of these things and I will keep going and make it tighter and tighter, control and control and control. And that's just one death experienced after another, one more degree of death.
Wow. I got 3 callers I got to go to before I get out of here. One, I'm just hung up. Ryan in Kentucky, thanks for holding her on the air. And Steve.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. It's good to talk to you. Back this last Monday, I was listening to your show on my phone, and I stopped over here at the Myers, and I get out my truck and have my phone with me, and I'm trying to convert it over to my headset, but it's blaring, and everybody around me can hear it as I'm getting out, and this lady comes up, and she says, are you listening to Alex Jones? And I said, well, yeah, actually I am. She's about in early 20s, a millennial, blonde-headed lady. And she just starts going on and on about how you preach and that Trump preaches white man power or white privilege. And I said, ma'am, I said, you're white too. And I said, do you ever listen to anything that Alex actually says? I said, do you not realize that you're going to be caught up in your millennial world? You're going to become enslaved to the government system. Do you not actually listen to what he's saying? And she just went off. And finally, I mean, she was actually between me and my truck to where I couldn't really get around comfortably. And I finally had to tell the lady, I said, listen, ma'am. I said,
Hold on, Ryan. I'm glad you held. I'm going to come back to you and then Steve. And then John Rappaport takes over, NoMoreFakeNews.com. It's always great to talk to him. I love listening to the show when he does it. You can find his own show and videos and things in his books at NoMoreFakeNews.com. Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Ryan, don't hang up. I want to hear the rest of the story.
In ancient times, man roamed the earth in a constant state of hunting or being hunted. Introducing Caveman, where cutting-edge science meets ancient super nutrients. Secure your bottle right now at InfoWarsStore.com.